Hey everyone, welcome to the LEGO Machine Community Podcast, where we talk to veteran LEGO Machine builders about themselves, what they're up to, and about the community. So I'm your host Mika, also known as TurtleLegoProductions, and we are here with Lucas Jensen. So he created his channel on November 6th, 2013, and mainly uploads vending machines and arcade games. So, Lucas, how are you doing?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. So, the first question is, when did you get started and why?
I think I was like 10 years old, and why? Well, I don't know if you mean like why I started the channel. I was just bored, I guess, and why I started building machines. Because I was inspired by the older arcade machines back in like 2010. And I thought it was really cool how you can make a machine out of Lego bricks, and I wanted to try that on myself. And yeah, that's basically it.
Oh yeah. Did you start off like on any tutorials, or did you just kind of like build it based on your own imagination?
Well, actually, I didn't use tutorials. I try to avoid using tutorials because I think it's a bit more fun to make your own stuff. But my machines back then was actually were actually dispensers. So I just built a house, and then you just push a lever, and then a can just fell out. And then I saw a lot of machines, and I got inspired to make an actual mechanism where it would actually accept money. So yeah, I tried to avoid using tutorials.
Oh yeah, it's kind of interesting. A lot of people do start off on tutorials. All right, so second question is, do you have any builders that have inspired you?
Well, back in the days, like in 2010, I just watched random people. But then I found some guy, you know him, TotallyAwesomeLego.
Yeah.
I watched him a lot. And then I also found this guy, ElectryDragonite, and then I found AstonishingStudios. And these three people were my main inspiration back then. So yeah, but I think my biggest one is definitely ElectryDragonite, and when I found out he was Dane as well, that's just boosted my motivation to continue building.
Yeah, definitely those three back in the day were the main builders that were that had the most subs at the time. So TotallyAwesomeLego, AstonishingStudios, ElectryDragonite. A lot of people did get inspired from that, and I was just talking to a Difficator Lego, and he was really inspired by Totally Awesome Legos. So it's cool to see these old veteran builders referring back to that name when that channel no longer exists, and these young builders wouldn't get to see what he was making back in the day.
Yeah.
All right, and third question is, what do you struggle with the most when building machines?
Oh damn, there's a lot. Top from here is the design. I try to make the design as appealing as possible. And also I also want to create new mechanisms every now and then, but it's just hard. And then just give up and end up building a basic mechanism, which is the same. You have people like AstonishingStudios who always makes something new, and that's awesome, I think. And also, this isn't the machine itself, but something that I've gotten more aware of over the years is picking the right song to fit the video. Because back then, when I was younger, I just picked the first one on NCS channel. But now I really think about what I'm going to use. So yeah, the colors and the design, that's the main thing I think that I'm struggling with.
Yeah, I think design and mechanisms are pretty much the standard struggle any builder has to go through. For me, it's mostly been designs. I've always struggled to come up with the designs, and that was the longest process to take. But what I've kind of realized over the years is once I start building, I eventually just come up with something and go for it. But I've put so much pressure onto myself to figure out like really nice designs for the machines, but I've never really like actually made what I thought of. I just gave up thinking and just started building, and then it just turned out to be the designs that you see on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's true. I see a lot of people. They are like sketching out the machines like on a piece of paper, but I can't do that. I just build like you, and it just like turns out like however it may be.
Yeah, definitely for like mechanisms, it might be a different idea. Like you really have to think about that, but also like it's a really technical thing. You gotta actually like work with your hands to figure the stuff out. You can't think of it all in your head.
Yeah, that's true.
But the one thing that I've had to use paper for is in my last two machines for the program. That stuff you can like kind of think about it in your head. Like I started off with like really basic programs, like just standard coin pusher, just a few motors and a touch sensor. But then I like dramatically increased the programming in my firefighting arcade game, which is completely complex and way out of my comfort level for programming. Like I've never programmed anything before that was that complex. It's just coming from a basic coin pusher to that. So I think paper really did help me like lay it out in full and see what the problems were.
Yeah.
All right. And fourth question is, what's your favorite part of the community?
I don't know, man. There's a lot. I think like the positivity, like all the nice comments. Like that's my favorite thing about uploading a machine is getting the nice comments. Like praising and commending the machine. But also I don't think we need to sugarcoat anything. I also think that there needs to be like some like kind of feedback, so we can get better at building machines. And oftentimes I leave in the description saying is there anything I can improve on to like make the videos better. But usually people don't really like give me any feedback. But then 2 years ago I think AstonishingStudios actually helped me out with some like criticisms, and that has helped my channel grow a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There has been a lot of like positive feedback on almost everyone's channel.
Yeah.
Starting from like the way back at the start, like there would always be positive comments. And I've kind of seen over the years, I think constructive criticism has become more prevalent in the comments. It's not on everyone's channel, but whenever I comment, I usually try to add some constructive criticism to help people out. And I have seen some people use my criticism, which is really nice to see that people are actually listening and wanting to improve.
Yeah, of course.
All right, and fifth question is, has machine building helped you in some area of life?
Well, I mean, yeah, it has. Because like the only reason why I started a channel on YouTube was because of Lego machines, and now I've gained like a few friends. Like I talked to a few people like on Skype or Discord or Messenger occasionally. So yeah, I think like I've developed a bond to a lot of people, and that's really great. I don't really know what else I can say, but yeah, I think just like friendships is like my favorite thing. Like yeah, my favorite thing about starting a channel. Yeah.
It's definitely a part of being community is meeting people and making friends. So it's really nice to see that people are actually wanting to talk to each other and get to know each other on a community where we don't really see who are the people behind the machines that are building all of them, and you get to know them more personally rather than just some music and plastic bricks in front of a video camera.
True. Yeah.
All right, and sixth question is, do you have any lessons you've learned over the years while participating in the Lego Machine community?
This is gonna sound a bit cliche, but I think just like expanding like my knowledge and like my creative side, building a machine has definitely helped me like get more creative over the years.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty much the same response from almost all the builders.
Right. Yeah.
Like their thinking process has definitely been developed through Lego machine building, and they're really thinking creatively and technically on how to make their machines the best they can be.
Yeah.
Right. And seventh question is, what type of machine would you like to see someone make in the community?
I think some sort of like food automation machine, something that like a waiter or something that can actually cook. But the thing is, heat and plastic they don't mix well, so that's kind of an issue. So that's that. Yeah, that's the catch. But definitely some sort of like waiter machine, like a robot that can actually like be to service of you. That would be awesome to see.
Yeah, I've definitely seen AstonishingStudios and ElectryDragonite's like newest machines start to go into that direction of food automation, and I think AstonishingStudios has been saying like that's the future of the Lego machine community, at least for the larger builders who are more technically advanced, as you'd say. So it's definitely a cool thing to see once that's like fully achieved, like fully automated, everything's done just as a person would do. But who knows how long that will be. Like machines are progressing really quickly. I think AstonishingStudios or ElectryDragonite might be like one of the first people who make a fully automated one, since they're going that direction already.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, the small machines, they tend to get more views than these huge machines, and I think that's a bit weird. But maybe that's because like people, they think it's a bit like extreme to have such a big thing like in your house, and prefer a smaller machine like a small like pocket vending machine or something like that. But for us like veterans builders, we're like done with that. We want to move on to something a bit more extreme or bigger. But the new people, the new viewers, they're just discovering this community, so they don't care if it's like big or small, or maybe they do. They tend to prefer the small machines. Obviously, you can see it on the views.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a shift in how the community uploads. A lot of this new generation of builders have been making a lot of small machines, but like they're doing it consistently, and it's really helped their channels grow. In comparison to us in our day, we'd upload kind of like the same machines, but we wouldn't get many views, but we just do it just because we want to, just because we're having fun. But I think it's really just a stage in the community where the old builders are starting to die off and the new generation is coming in, and they're probably going to go through the same process, just build small machines and eventually make these really big complex machines. But I've definitely seen a lot more advancement in machines and mechanisms. Like there's some people who have made some really crazy mechanisms, and they've only been here for like 2 years. I've said this so many times in podcasts, but it's just mind-blowing how much these people are progressing.
Yeah, true.
So what are you up to nowadays?
All right, so right now I'm in my second year of high school, and I'm studying advanced mathematics and biotechnology. So yeah, so that's a bit rough. I have school from like 8 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. almost every day. I actually my first year of high school, I was my field of study was programming and communication. But unfortunately, I didn't like that, so I switched to biotechnology and math, because I like science.
It's interesting. You're actually like one of the first people I know who in the community who didn't base their study off of Lego machines, because like a lot of people have gone into like robotics and coding and mechatronics and design, and that's been attributed to their Lego machine building. So it's interesting to see that you're going the opposite direction, and it's
I mean I can use it properly, but I just feel like I also need a break sometimes from building, because this is more like a hobby. I don't need to also be doing it at school. But yeah, I of course there are some subjects that I can definitely use. We also have a mechatronic room and programming, and also, as I said, I was actually studying programming for a year, or like half a year, before I decided to switch. But I mean, programming a Mindstorm machine and programming in like C# or Java is a bit different.
All right, and now to the main part of the podcast. What are your opinions on the past Lego machine community?
Well, for me, that was like the glory days of the community, because that was when I just discovered like that you can actually build a machine out of Lego bricks. So yeah, I think like from 2011 to 2013 or like 15 maybe, that was like the golden days for me. And also, as I said, back then I just like build without thinking about what I was going to build. I just like started building. I didn't really have any plans or any ideas. But then I think like from 2016, and from there on, I got more aware of what I was like building, and I started like playing things out in my head.
All right, and moving to the current Lego machine community, what are your opinions on that?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care about Lego as much now as I did back then, like prior to 2016, I think. Because now I'm more focused on school, and has been for a few years now. But it's great to see like all these new people that are joining.
And what are your opinions on the future of the Lego machine community?
I do think it will continue for a long time. I think people will just quit when they are done, when they don't want to build anymore. And I'm not gonna lie. I have thought about quitting a few times, but at the end of the day, I don't want to, because I just need a break, and then I can just like continue building whenever I want. And I also seen a lot of people they are taking like long breaks, like a year or longer, and then they come back, and that's fine. That's fine. You can come back or you can quit, because like no one's forcing you to build.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of builders as they get older. They've just deleted their channel. Like they just completely quit. They're just completely done. No more Lego machines at all. It's kind of a shame to see, just because there's
true.
a lot of memories based on those machines. A lot of people have memories of those machines. And there's a lot of builders that have inspired people, but they can't refer back to those channels anymore. My suggestion to those people, if you're watching this right now to this point, is to just keep your channel, just keep it alive. Don't end it off. It's obviously your choice, but it's nice for other people to watch your machines and look back on the memories.
Yeah, true. It's a treasure for like new people. It really is. And also just fun to see like how we have like evolved or like developed over the years. How we went from these like smaller, not so great machines to these complex machines. Yeah. I also have actually written to some people who hasn't uploaded for a long time, and asking them to like please like don't delete your channel, some people have, some people haven't. So yeah, but at the end of the day, it's their choice.
Yeah. A question I missed earlier was, what's your favorite machine in the community?
Okay. I definitely think that's Nipe Nipe or Nipe's Lego McDonald's machine. I know that's probably a bit like cliche again, but just like the design, and the like mechanism and the like automation of it was just like perfect. I've watched that video so many times, and it's just like still mind blowing, like how we managed to do all that.
Yeah, Nipe Nipe's machines are like I suddenly like discovered his channel like one day, and like his machines were just like, what the heck? Who like, why didn't we know about this guy earlier? His machines are really advanced. Like all the way from the start when he started building. They've been like really complex, and they keep progressing to these other new standards and bring in new ideas into the community. I've also seen how he's inspired like Astonishing Studios and ElectryDragonite and a lot of other builders with their machines, especially ElectryDragonite with his version of Nipe Nipe's McDonald's machine. It's quite similar, but he added his own twist to that and like kind of further developed it into his own version. And it's really cool to see how people are innovating based on other people's ideas.
True. Yeah, I also think I was inspired to, or like I was inspired from his Lego gumball machine, like way back before he made the McDonald's machine. Because I thought the mechanism was quite interesting, so I wanted to try that on my own.
So another question for you. You're one of the only people to have met Astonishing Studios and ElectryDragonite. Could you tell us about that experience?
Oh man, that was amazing. Like, because I think back then in like 2015 or like 2015, I was like so hyped. I was so into Lego back then, way more than I am now. So I don't mean to sound like rude or anything, but I don't think it would be the same to meet them now as back then, because back then I was like, Lego was just like everything to me, building. So yeah, that was probably one of the best days in my life, to meet them. So yeah, we met at like 8 p.m. And then it wasn't Legoland, so we actually planned on going on rides together, but they were closed unfortunately. So we just like went around in the park, and also think we did like a Q&A, but it didn't like get posted on YouTube. And then we got an ice cream, and then we just said goodbye. So we walked around the park for a few hours, but it was fun. It was amazing to meet them. They were so nice, honestly.
Yeah. It's really cool to see like how the community it was interesting like as they were like much larger than a lot of people, and they still are in terms of like subscriber count, but like a lot of smaller channels were like really praising their machines just because they're like these big huge channels, and a lot of people like wanted to meet them. And it's funny because you're like the only person who showed up, and you got this exclusive experience to hang out with them. But it's really cool to see how Astonishing Studios and ElectryDragonite, how involved they are in the community, and they're not just some like big huge outcast who doesn't talk to anyone. They're really supportive of everyone, and they're watching other people's videos and talking to other smaller creators.
They're so nice, honestly. They're so nice people. But it was a long drive also. I think it took 3 hours, but it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, that is our time for the Lego Machine Community Podcast. Thank you, Lucas, so much for joining this episode, and thank you to the viewers that have gone this far into the episode. It means a lot, and I hope you learned something from this episode. And we will see you next episode on Lego Machine Community Podcast.
Bye.